A heaven war has taken place, and the Heaven Gate has mysteriously vanished from Japan. Some people have gained superpowers known as Contractors. The season begins with Louis, a French agent fleeing the police. On the special orders of Kirihara, a female police officer, any police officer should fire at him if they see him. Louis is approached by an observer apparition, which is referred to as a doll. The doll grabs Louis and asks about the location of the goods. Louis swears and tells him that he is unaware. He agrees to deliver goods to him if he tells his syndicate to do good and deliver. Goods is the confidential information obtained via illegal areas into the central system of Pandora. When police reach the scene, they notice that Louis is a contractor. For all those human beings that have unique abilities, there exists a passive medium named as dolls. In this world, all contractors have a special code which dolls do not have. People come into contact with people and they lose their memory. At the Foreign Security Secretariat, this situation is discussed. In any case in which a contractor with the code BK201 is involved, the unsolved BK201 was the first case of a contractor. Shinoda Chaki, a National Research Institution employee, is missing, and she possesses sensitive information. The police officer considers her a threat. An exchange student from China named Lai Sheng is setting up in his room when he meets Haraguchi-san. The police are in search of Shinoda, so they trace down every woman looking like her. Lai Sheng helps her to run away from the police who were following Haraguchi. Haraguchi is approached by Jean. Haraguchi asks about Louis' whereabouts and tells him about police chasing her. Lai Sheng tries to save her again but fails, and Jean takes her with him. At Jean's place, he tells her about Louis's murder. Haraguchi tries to escape, and suddenly a force helps her escape. Outside Jean's place, Haraguchi meets Lai Sheng again and cries her heart out. Haraguchi is thinking about Louis's death when Lai takes her away. She shares the tragedy of her parents' deaths. Kirihara tells her mates about Jean and his ability to teleport. Lai and Haraguchi came to the place where both were staying. Haraguchi goes to her room and sees it in bad shape, indicating that someone has been there. Haraguchi, being emotional, asks Lai to stay with her, and he agrees. Both lie down as Haraguchi starts to talk and express her thoughts and emotions on various things. Lai suggests to her that they both run away, and she agrees. Lai and Haraguchi go to a cafe to meet someone Lai knows who can provide illegal documents. Lai tells her that they are short on money, so she offers some confidential information she has in exchange for money. Haraguchi apologizes as she goes to the restroom. Wang comes to meet Lai, who tells him that he should only focus on the confidential data and kill the woman. At the cafe, Jin's man approaches, so both run away. Haraguchi lays on Lai's lap and remembers her parents' deaths and that she didn't testify against them. Lai tells her not to trust contractors as they are liars. Haraguchi tells him that Lai's diary might be in the locker, so they both head to get that. As soon as they get his diary, they are again approached by Jin's men. Haraguchi runs away, and Lai finds his diary empty. After chasing Haraguchi for a while, he comes face to face with Jin and accepts that he is the one who killed Louis. This breaks Haraguchi's heart. Jin tells Lai that Haraguchi is just a doll, with Shinoda's memory by Ami, and her personality lasts 2 to 3 days. Jin attacks Lai, but he is wearing a bulletproof jacket, which saves him. Wang gave orders for Lai to kill everyone. Lai thinks that Haraguchi was not a doll, she was alive. Yin, a doll, takes the lead on Jin's location. The next day, when Lai meets Wang, he tells him that he has to make a delivery at Tahara's office. Tahara is an important consultant, just as Lai is about to leave. Tahara stops him and asks Lai to drive him over to the school. Lai reluctantly agrees as Tahara looks in a hurry. At the school, Tahara picks his daughter Mai, who does not want to talk to him. On the way back, Mai gets out of the car and goes with her friends. Mei's friends ask her about who cooks in her home, and she tells them that she lives alone. Mei's friend Yuka invites her to her house to have dinner, but she refuses, saying that she has to meet her father. Mai waits for Tahara, but Tahara never comes. Mei notices Lai following her, so in a rage she tells him to stay away, but in response, Lai offers a walk to her home. Mai does not want to go home, so they decide to play until the morning. The next day, before the first train arrives, Mei thanks Lai and shows her wrist. Mei thinks of Lai as her older brother. The same morning, Tahara notices that the flower he was trying to save died. A new star has appeared. Kirihara is told about the star's emergence. Upon further investigation, it is revealed that the star has characteristics of moratorium. Kirihara suspects Mai as the new star. Suddenly, a fire is started in various places of the city, causing various deaths. 2 of the police officers, Meyer and Hilton, try to search for the type of experiments Tahara did, but to no avail. Kirihara is being updated by the situation, so she decides to go to the moratorium and introduce herself to Hazuma-sama. Yuka finds Mai wandering alone, so she decides to take Mai with them to save her. Mai tells Yuka to go away, but she doesn't listen. Unknowingly, Mai used her abilities and it caught Yuka and his father were burned to death. Lai goes to ask Tahara about Mai, and he reveals that Mai always had the ability, and all his life he researched for a way to control it, or she would become a monster. Lai tells Tahara to accept his mistakes in front of Mai for abandoning her. Mai is held captive. Tahara is told to arrive and hand over the research on Mai, who will die. Tahara goes there and hands over the remains of the dead flower, after which Mai kills all of them, including her. Mr. Smith goes to meet Huang, and Smith offers a large amount of money in exchange for information, but Huang refuses and flees from the scene. 3 contractors with code names 11 November, April, and July go to meet Havoc. Lai abducts Havoc to interrogate him about his sister Pei's location. Havoc's abduction has disturbed the CIA agent, so a meeting is held at the Pandora headquarters about this situation. Lai tortures Havoc so that she spits out the truth about Pei, but she does not know anything. Lai knows that she was present when South America disappeared 5 years ago. Havoc tells Lai that for some unknown reason, her ability has vanished. As Havoc has seen Lai's emotions, she questions him about being a contractor or not. 11 November, April, and May goes to Kirihara and offers their help as their goal is the same IE to catch BK-201, which is the Lai code. Lai cooks for her and helps her eat. Lai and Havoc sit down and finally have a chat. Havoc agrees to help him find Pei, but they have to go to the gate. Havoc asks Lai to promise her that he will kill her if she fails to become what she was before. Lai agrees after thinking about it for some time. Lai and Havoc start their journey towards the gate, while 11 Nav, April, May, and Kirihara are on their way to rescue Lai. Kirihara suspects that Havoc might be able to gain her abilities back. As suspected, Havoc gets her abilities back, so she asks Lai to kill her, but he refuses. Havoc is attacked by the 3 contractors and dies. Lai goes face to face with 11 Nav, and he warns him that he will face consequences if he does not obey. Lai decides to leave the place at once. Wang warns Lai to refrain from such stupid acts. Soon, police arrive at the death scene of Havoc. Some repeated deaths have taken place in the city, and all the people who died were employees of Fewer Cosmetics Company. The next day, a private investigator named Kurusura Guy goes to meet him and asks him to find her cat, named Hai-chan. Kurusura, with her partner, goes to find the cat. Kurusura finds it strange that the woman's husband, named Yazuki, also worked for the same company. Kurusura finds the Yazuki biodata. The woman tells Kurusura to go to Toshika's house. Toshika was the first wife of Yazuki. This increases Kurusura's suspicions more. The next day, Kurusura goes to Toshika's mansion and catches Mao. He sees Toshika's dead body, so he informs the police and leaves. Yen, Lai, and Huang are worried because Mao is missing. Kurusura thinks that this case was more about catching a cat. Kurusura takes Mao to the woman, and the woman tells her that this is not hers. Finally, Kurusura asks the women to tell her the full story of Toshika's death, and finally she agrees. Yukiyama meets Kurusura and tries to kill him, but Lai interrupts and saves Kurusura. Kurusura goes back to his office and discusses everything with his partner. Mao is released. Huang tells Lai and Mao that Amitabh Kapoor, from North India, has possessed Yukiyama's body. Kurusura is still suspicious of the woman, so he goes and confronts her. He tells the woman to turn herself in, but she laughs as there was no evidence that she was the murderer. The woman recalls that Toshika was already dead before she went to her house, and her house started looking like a garbage mansion. She went there after listening to the complaints about the mansion. It was Yazuki's childhood mansion, but Kurusura is still suspicious of the woman. Yukiyama meets Lai, and they both fight, and Lai was able to confiscate the spices Yukiyama had. At last, Mao was freed. Mao appreciates the fact that she can sleep without being yelled at. Kirihara goes to meet Richard, who tells her that if she provides him security, he will share information about the contractor with code V1952. Just as Richard was about to speak, he was killed by a contractor right in front of Kirihara. This leaves Kirihara surprised. Other police officers arrive to investigate the scene. Kirihara's father, Superintendent Kirihara Noeyasu, arrives and takes his daughter away from the scene. Both go to a dinner at the hotel of Wang Shangtang. After the dinner, the father tells Kirihara about her promotion orders and warns her to stay careful. While Kirihara is leaving the hotel, she meets Alice, her childhood friend. It was Alice's birthday, so Alice invited Kirihara to her birthday party. Alice makes Kirihara change clothes. Alice takes Kirihara to meet her father, Wang Shangtang. Wang is not happy about Kirihara attending the party but stays quiet. Kirihara meets Sato, her colleague, at the party dressed as a waiter. Lai and Sato talk in the kitchen as the party continues. Alice tells Kirihara that an official mafia meeting is about to start. Alice stops Kirihara from sneaking into the room in exchange for some information. Alice takes Kirihara and tells Kirihara the identity of V1925. Alice takes her to the Stoneflower room and reveals that her bodyguard, named Waijung, is the one with a code name of V1925. Alice points a gun at Kirihara and tells her goodbye. Lai and Kirihara meet. Kirihara remembers the time she spent in high school with Alice. Back to the present, Kirihara asks Lai about his reason for being there. Wei kills all the members of the meeting. Upon Alice's orders, no one can leave the party while Kirihara struggles to get a hold of the situation. Kirihara feels betrayed by Alice. Kirihara asks Lai to go and find Sato, after which she will let Lai go. As Kirihara cannot be traced, this causes her police colleagues to worry for her safety. Sato comes up with a plan to help Kirihara escape. Sato takes her to the laundry basket. Lai goes back to the Stoneflower room and picks out the main big flower, due to which all the other flowers die. White catches Lai, and a fight starts between the two. Wei also kills Alice and blames everything on Kirihara. Kirihara sits beside Alice's dead body and cries her heart out. Just as Wei is about to kill Kirihara, Lai appears and saves her. The police arrive and Kirihara is saved, but she is still thinking about Alice. Lai goes to Mao and Huang and tells them the mission is over. Kirihara declines the offer of promotion. Kirihara tells Sato that she is counting on him. Lai is traveling to the Pandora research facility. He is sitting beside Karina Moku, a third-year student at Beijing University, and starts a conversation with Lai. Everyone is being checked at the gate. Although the location is very dangerous, because if anyone goes near the gate, they will lose their ability. Lai has been assigned the mission to retrieve the stolen meteor fragment. As the place does not have good connections, Lai tells Huang to leave everything on him for once, and he agrees. Meena Kandarswamy, who is a secretary of Chief Sergi, would assist Lai. Meena invites Lai to the library and gives him all the information she has regarding the mission and promises to give further information if she receives Lai meets Dr. Nixon, and they both find out their interest in the sky and telescopes. Doctor invites Lai to see the stars. Lai accepts and the two met on the rooftop to talk about the time when the sky and stars were real, not made up. Nick tells Lai about his sister whom he lost. The next day, Karina's dead body was found, and strangely, shoes were turned upside down. Lai is blamed for Karina's death, and he is being investigated. Lai is released because the lie detector failed to prove him guilty. Lai explains to Meena that he was not the one who killed Karina, and she tells him that she trusts him. After the investigation of Karina's murder case, it was revealed that she was trying to escape in exchange for the meteor fragment. While every worker is checked, Lai sees his sister on the screen. Lai's health starts to get affected. A flashback shows the time Lai and his sister Pei were playing and watching the sky. Lai approaches Pai in his dreams and finds himself standing in a red pool. Mina is worried about Lai. Nick gives his telescope named Setek to Lai as a present. Nick and his team members report for duty. Only Nick was able to come back, but is still unconscious. Mina goes through all the footage and finds that Nick is missing from every footage and all the shoes were turned upside down. Mina expresses her feelings to him, but he is not interested. Lai finds him acting paralyzed and kills the police officer by turning his shoes upside down. In order to explain himself, Nick shows the meteor fragment to Lai. Lai takes the meteor fragment from him. Chief Sergi tells Lai that he knows everything about Lai. Lai comes back to the city but is still thinking about the real sky and stars. A checkup is going on at the experimental lab under Chief Ishizaki. Ilks goes to meet Kurajura to help him find Yin, and Kurajura accepts. Wang tells Lai about Yin's disappearance. Wang explains that Yin is a doll. She is programmed with enough information to live. She does not have emotions. A lonely Yin goes to a place where someone is practicing the piano. She was found by Kiki, Kurajura's partner. Kiki immediately informs Kurajura, but Yin manages to escape. Yin meets Bertha and Itchak, but Mao arrives and saves her on time. Elis also arrives at the scene and takes her to Kurajura's office. Elis asks for help to escape from this city, and Karasuna agrees. When Huang is informed, he is infuriated. He asks Lai to kill Yin when he sees him. Kiki, Kurajura, and Elis Yin head towards a hot spring to escape. Lai and Mao are discussing the weird order they got to kill Yin. Itchak and Bertha are chasing Yin, when Bertha explains to him about her abilities and how they work. In response, Itchak tells Bertha about the smoking habit. Yin remembers the death of her mother. The Silver Knight disappeared that night. Elis had blamed himself for Yin's mother's death for years. Yin meets Lai, and Lai asks her why she is running away like this. Bertha and Itchak arrive, and Lai tells Yin and Elis to run. Itchak tries to escape, but the silver light quietly passes by. Everyone is surprised to see Yin's emotions. Wang does not even have the courage to kill Yin. Yin goes back to the city. April sees February, who was missing for 5 years, with a Caucasian boy with heterochromatic eyes named Maki. On November 11, April calls to tell them that the car she was sitting in suddenly explodes on its own. 11 November tells us that February was also the head of a terrorist group. Lie meets Maki, who was trying to get the necklace that got stuck on a tree. Maki thanks him and leaves. Lie goes to the place where the incident took place while Maki was returning from there. Maki asked Amajiri why he went there again, as Maki stood quiet. Maki asked about Amber, and Amajiri tells Maki that Amber is away on a very special mission, ID, to collect the final key. Chief Isazaki hears Hashimi-sama speaking about the stars singing. Kirihara and Mr. Nishijima talk as a building blows up in front of them. Lie goes to meet 11 Nob to ask him about the fragments and Amber location. But 11 Nob does not know either. On November 11, he sees Maiko and goes after him. Back at the experimental center, scientists are confused because the last time Hashimi-sama spoke was 5 years ago, when South America disappeared. Amber goes to meet Yin. Amber reveals she has the meteor and starts to express feelings of love for Lie. Lie arrives there by looking at the note that Amber left at Yin's house before taking her. Amber asks Lie to come with him to find Pi. The government has issued security measures for tonight. The government has imposed a night curfew in the city. Chief Ishizaki and Kirihara are discussing the project they have been working on. Maki has captured 11 November. Maki expresses that he will do anything for Amber. Amajiri explains to 11 Nob that his group known as Evening Primrose is trying to repeat what happened in South America. 11 November had invited 11 Nob to join his cult, but 11 Nob refused. When Kirihara arrives, Amber is captured and freed on November 11. When Lie goes to meet Amber, she expresses her feelings for him, but Lie has had enough of her. Amber uses her ability to freeze everyone and flees. On Nov 11, tells Kirihara to go after Lie, and he will handle Maki himself. Kirihara catches up with Lie, but Amber uses her ability to flee from there. 11 Nob takes Maki's life. Wang is told about everything that happened, and Wang thinks that Lie still has feelings for Amber. Wang asks Mao what happened between the two. It was now revealed that Amber betrayed Lie, because of which all of Lie's group members, including Pai, disappeared. The first 5 stars were recorded at the time when South America disappeared. He accidentally makes friends with Sakurai by saving him from a person he got into a fight with. To thank him, Eniki, his friend and superior, tells Sakurai to take Lie to a good restaurant and repay him for his kindness. Wang tells Lie to keep his eyes open in the meeting. When Lie gets back, he sees Sakurai helping himself by fixing his bike. After some time, Sakurai heads back. At night, when Lie goes back to his workplace, he is told by the manager that he got 3 paid leaves. This leaves him suspicious of the manager. Lie goes back to the hotel and finds the manager dead. On the other hand, Eniki calls Sakurai to assign him a task. Sakurai is assigned to take care of the doll and make her feel happy. Sakurai tries to talk to the doll, but being a doll, she does not respond. Sakurai decides to take the doll away, thinking about what people will do with her. Sakurai brings the doll to Lie's apartment and waits for him until morning for him to arrive. Kirihara meets Lie at the shopping complex where Lie is buying female clothes. Kirihara offers her help to choose clothes. Lie thanks Kirihara and excuses himself after explaining that he is single, and this is for someone else. Yin comes to meet Lie because Lie looked a bit different today, which worried Yin. Lie asks Yin to help the doll change her clothes, while Lie and Sakurai wait outside. Sakurai tells Lie to get out of the city. The group of 4 goes to buy tickets for Sakurai and the doll. Aniki's men chased him down, so Lie decides to fight and let Sakurai escape. Mao has warned Lie to stay away from this matter, but Sakurai decides otherwise. When Lie was about to give up, Yin informs him that the doll has requested assistance, so Lie goes to their aid. At last, Sakurai overpowers Aniki and tells him to drive the car instead of killing him. In the car, Aniki and Sakurai remember the first time they met. After Sakurai left Oshida, a member of the organization killed Aniki. Kirihara is being informed about the condition. After some days, Sakurai has sent some food items, so Lie decides to distribute them among everyone. Kuno-san is remembering the past in which he had feelings for Shioko, and she betrayed him by killing Isazaki, his best friend. On the other hand, Mao orders Lie to kill Star of Arma, the guru of Brotherhood of the Gate. Shioko informs Lie that he will be assisted by Mao. Kuno seems to remember the first time he met Shioko and fell for her. Lie starts the mission and arrives at the gate. Lie gets the chance to meet Shioko. Shioko tells Lie that tomorrow a meeting will be held between the guru and someone. They suspect it is a secret meeting, meaning something special is about to take place. Shioko gives all the information about the guru to Lie. Kuno goes to the bar and meets Chizuka, who was the wife of his best friend. Both talk about the death of Isazaki. In the meeting, Lie meets Amajiri. Lie, Wang, and Mao meet, and Wang tells Lie that he will go to kill Arma because it is their last chance. After Wang leaves, Mao informs him that he received orders to kill Wang if he cannot kill Arma. The trio plans an attack and works according to the plan. Wang meets an injured Chioko and asks about the guru location. Chioko describes the situation as Wang takes her out, while Lai goes on alone. Chioko, Kyan, and Mao head back. Kyan asks for a reason to kill Isozaki from Chioko. Chioko explains that Isozaki hid his real identity. He was in contact with the group of illegal aliens Kyan was after. Even when Kyan found Arma's photo, Isozaki hid the photo. Chioko further explains that it was her who preserved Kyan's memory. Lai and Arma meet, and Lai sees the real old Arma. Arma explains the difference between humans and contractors to Lai. Arma knew that the time for his final remuneration had arrived. As Wang has failed to kill Arma, Mao tells him to kill Wang. Wang saved him so many times that Lai could not bring himself to kill him. Wang tells Lai to run with Chioko, and they agree. Chioko kills herself in front of Wang as he cries, sitting beside her body. The CIA thinks that the EPR is targeting the US Embassy, but unknown to them, the EPR is operating under the embassy. Mao tells Lai that it is time to get back to work. Kirihara goes to see him on November 11th, and he tells him that, according to his knowledge, the attacks will continue. EPR is named after Dr. Schroeder, who is a very important scientist. In the basement, Britta goes to see the doctor and takes him with her. Yin and her group have planned an attack on the embassy, so they continue with their plans. Mao and Yin help Lai to safely go inside the embassy and place bombs at several bases. Kirihara senses it and asks the embassy officers to let them in, but they are persistent. Lai fights with the messenger of Amber, but Britta interferes and takes him away. In the embassy, November meets Britta and asks her to take her to meet February. Amber kidnaps Mao, and Mao meets 11 Nav and Britta. The police manager introduces Kirihara to Decade, the in charge of M16. Decade asks Kirihara about the 11th of November, but she does not know either. Amber introduces everyone to Dr. Amber, asks the doctor to tell the whole story. The moral of the story is that one day, every contactor will vanish. He realizes that Amber is after him, so he goes to her because he doesn't want anyone to get hurt. Amber tells 11 Nav that she can see the future, but he doesn't believe her. To make him believe it, she tells him that he will die as soon as he leaves the building. Lai comes in and fights with the contractors until he meets Amber. The meteor shines brightly as the police arrive. Wang interferes and takes Lai and Mao with him. Doctor is also rescued by the police, but the Pandora people take him away. 11 November encounters Decade after discovering a secret. That Decade was working with the government. 11 November bids him farewell as he kills him and his men. 11 Nav has sacrificed himself to stop Kirihara from interfering further on. Kirihara arrives at the scene and finds his dead body. Wang tells Lai that he is resisting the Syndicate to stop erasing the Contractor. Amber was the one who sealed the gates 5 years ago. Lai doesn't believe it because he lost everything. Later, Kirihara meets the manager, who also stops her from interfering in Pandora's matter. Amber needs Lai as a member of her group, so that she can succeed in replicating what happened in South America. On manager's order, Kirihara is being followed by Sato. Kirihara and Lai go to a dinner and talk about various things and have a good time with each other. Kirihara thanks Lai for his time and leaves. Mao, Lai, and Huang realize that the Syndicate has thrown them out. Lai is invited to meet Amber via her messenger. Kirihara's father calls her and tells her to leave Tokyo as soon as possible, as history is going to repeat itself. Once again, the meteor is destroyed and distributed among the dolls. Wang leaves the premises as everyone says their goodbyes. Kirihara goes to meet Doctor. The doctor tells Kirihara that the code BK201 is issued for a girl. Doctor suggests destroying Hell's Gate and explains his plan to Kirihara. Upon orders, Sato and Kwano head to Pandora. Lai agrees to see Amber while the special forces fight with the dolls, who have the powers of meteor fragments. Yin decides to accompany Lai. On the way, Amber's messenger betrays Amber and starts a fight with Lai. Despite knowing he cannot win, he decides to fight. The messenger tells Lai that he joined hands with Amber just to have a fight with him. On the other hand, the police manager has joined hands with the government. The manager decides to call Kirihara and tell him everything. The manager tells him that BK201 was Lai, who was with Kirihara the whole time. He tells her the truth about everything. While the messenger ends his life and opens the gate, he tells Lai to go. Wang also kills himself as he was caught by the government's agent. The next day, the government decides to start the experiment. They start the experiment by destroying the anti-gate, but it turns out it was just a decoy. Lai, Mao, and Yin walk inside the gate and continue to explore. Mao also says farewell and leaves Lei for good. Lai and Yin meet Amber, who tells them that she does not have enough time, as she has used her abilities a lot. Lai and Amber finally sit down together as Amber explains everything to Lai. Amber justifies that she hadn't told him before because he wouldn't believe her then. The city will soon reach its maximum limit of solar energy. Amber tells him about the Syndicate's plan to let the Contractors disappear, so that everything returns to normal, and how Pai was with him the whole time. Even the electrical ability Lai uses is one of Pei's abilities. Amber asks Lai to disappear Tokyo, but he refuses at first. Amber informs him the Contractors will vanish if he doesn't do it, so Lai agrees and does it as he sees younger Lai and Pei, with all the Contractors he has met asking about his identity. Back in the city, the government operation fails, so Kirihara confronts the manager. Kirihara has recorded the conversation she had with the manager in which he accepts all of his deeds. Kirihara blackmails him and the manager attacks her. She was about to choke him to death when Lai came and saved her again. Lai was about to kill the manager, but Kirihara stopped him. Kirihara orders Sato to arrest the manager as the season ends.